Hi, my name is Fred Lomangino. I am a student physical therapist at Florida Gulf Coast University, and I'm going to be doing a class today on workstation ergonomics for the local office employee. This is a community education project provided by myself, and I'm at Florida Gulf Coast University. So my goals for today are going to be I want to be able to identify the risks using an unsound workspace for prolonged periods of time. I want to get you guys to identify the musculoskeletal issues that can arise with improper workstation ergonomics. I want us to learn to identify improper workstation ergonomics at a basic level. I'm going to have us gain an understanding of how to appropriately set up an ergonomically sound workstation. And I want to bring the education from the course to the workplace to optimize your current workstation for proper ergonomics that you may not be using right now. So I want to start off with some conditions that may affect someone who has poor ergonomics in their workstation. So the first one that comes to mind whenever someone thinks about this is carpal tunnel syndrome. And it's the carpal tunnel. I'm really just going to explain that first. It's that part of the wrist where the carpal bones meet, and they form a shallow space where the tendons of a few muscles in the wrist are covered by a retinacula, which is basically a tendon that covers those and gets tight when the wrist and hand is in full extension or is put forth to a lot of vibratory forces. The syndrome is identified by the compression of the median nerve, which is also in that tunnels with the muscular structures in the distal hand. The compression of the numbness, this compression causes numbness and pain to digits 2 through 3, while also causing problems into the lateral portion of digit number 4. Additionally, the thumb muscles or thenar muscles may be affected with this same numbness and pain. As I said earlier, the awkward hand position or intense vibratory actions of large machinery put these types of occupations at risk for developing this chronic condition. I just have an explanation here. The carpal tunnel, when the wrist is in constant extension or is subject to constant vibratory forces, the flexor reticuli begins to tighten and stabilize the area. This causes that compression force in the median nerve like I talked about earlier. Other conditions that can be exacerbated when we have a improperly ergonomically sound workstation are muscles in the hip and knee, and the chest and back. And the psoas major, semimembranosus, tendinosus, biceps femoris, piriformis, and quadratus lumborum are all muscles in the hip and knee that get affected. And in the chest and back, we have the pectoralis minor, the upper trapezius, erector spinae group, multifidi, and the obliques, internal and external obliques. And the transverse abdominis is also going to be affected there. Just have a couple of slides of explanation there. The psoas on the left is the major muscle people think of when they have hip issues. When you're in a seated position for too long, that muscle becomes shortened, and it causes the pelvis to rotate into an anteriorly rotated position, which is not correct for ergonomics in the workstation at the workplace. It also forces an extensive lumbar curvature, which is also something you don't want to have when you're at your office for too long. The next picture is the hamstring group, which is when the knees are flexed and underneath of the chair for a very long time, they get shortened. And again, that pulls on the pelvis in a different place. That pulls on the more posterior aspect of the pelvis and causes a posterior rotation, and that's why people want to get those lumbar support pads for their chairs. And the last muscle here is the piriformis, where tightness here is what causes sciatic nerve pain on a lot of patients, and that's caused by when people sit, they tend to externally rotate their knee, maybe turn their internal knee up and out so that they can be more relaxed, and that causes a shortness in that area. In the chest and back, we have the pectoralis minor on the left, upper trapezius is next, which is the pectoralis minor and the upper trap are what causes that forward rotation of the chest over the abs while we're sitting and slouched over. The erector spinae group is the large muscles in the back. They're along the midline there, and they get overstretched when we're in that thoracic curvature position, which I'm going to show you in the next slide. The internal oblique and the external obliques are also muscles that are stabilizers of the core, and that's shown on the right hand side. And we have our multifidi and our transverse abdominis on the bottom left. This is our final slide I'm going to talk about, and it's that comparison between the upright posture and the thoracic curvature posture. For the thoracic curvature posture, you have the upper trapezius compromise there, where it's going to be tight, and it's going to cause the neck to rotate into extension, if you're looking at that there. The pectoralis minor and major tightness is also causing that rotation over with the chest. And the abdominal area is constricted, and it's also putting pressure on the lumbar and the lower back. And as you can see from this picture, a forward rotation of the shoulders impacts a variety of different muscles in the thoracic area. If left for a prolonged amount of time, they will become dysfunctional. And that's it. So, as I've already exceeded my time, so thank you very much, and if you have any critiques, let me know. Thanks a lot.